with Last of Us and, upcoming, we've got God of War coming up. There seems to maybe be a hope, nay, a dream that maybe, finally, we could be entering into a golden age of good video game adaptations. For too long, 30 years. Well, when did the Super Mario movie come out? When did that Bob Hoskins Super Mario?
That was
like 40 years
90s,
ago.
Yeah,
like for 40 years, my brothers and sisters, we have dwelled in darkness, waiting for something to happen. There came a time when there was a Assassin's Creed and a World of Warcraft movie were coming. We thought, lo, salvation is nigh. We are now going to be ushering in a golden age of comic book movies. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I still kind of like the Warcraft movie. I did. But the Assassin's Creed movie sucked. Yeah. And we were plunged right back into the darkness. And we have waited and waited and waited. And now we got Last of Us. We got this new Mario Brothers movie coming that looks great. God of War's on the rise as well. One of the movies that video game fans have been really anticipating is the Netflix project of Gears of War. Now, they've been talking about it for a long time. But it appears now that they have some movement as the Dune 2 and the first Doctor Strange writer has come on board. John Spates has come on board, and he will be the writer of the upcoming movie. This comes just from the folks over at Variety, who write the following. Netflix's live-action adaptation of their popular video game Gears of War has moved one step closer as Academy Award-nominated screenwriter John Spates is board of the project. Best known for co-writing Dune, Dune Part 2, and Doctor Strange. Spates, not to be confused with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Spates will now take on the challenge of adapting Gears of War, one of gaming's richest and most acclaimed video game sagas with over 40 million copies sold. This is pretty important, and I'll tell you why. Because I think with things like Mario Brothers looking like it's going to be a huge success, fingers crossed it's good. With The Last of Us being not just one of the best video game things, one of the best things that's been on TV in a long time. I think now you're going to start attracting higher caliber people to get involved with this stuff. And as you look over his resume, let's go over and take a look at this. Space has done some really interesting stuff. Now, of course, he did Dune, which won more Academy Awards last year than any other movie. He also did Tom Cruise's The Mummy, but he did The Story By. And you know what? I am one of the people that says that Mummy movie wasn't as bad as people made it out to be. I thought there were some redeeming qualities about that movie. I didn't think it was a good movie, but I thought there were some redeeming things about it. Then you get down to Passengers, which was a really neat idea for a movie. Didn't work for me, to be honest. Aww. Doctor Strange. Listen, Prometheus, I'm not a fan of Prometheus, but that was a really interesting screenplay. Like the story with it maybe not have executed the way I kind of wanted, but that was a really interesting screenplay. So you've got a guy here who has shown he can do a lot of really interesting things with the screenplay. And going into Gods of War, if you're a fan of that series, if you're a fan of that franchise,
Gears of War.
What did I say?
Gods of War.
Did I say Gods of War? Sorry. Two big ones coming. But Gears of War. If you're a fan of Gears of War, I think you got to take this as good news right now. I think this is a really big plus. Now, admittedly, this is one of the games that I never played, right? Granted, I'm not much of a console player, but I've still at least tried most of them. Gears of War is one I've never done. Now, Taylor, you said you are quite familiar with Gears of War. What's your elevator pitch on this thing? Like, what's the basic idea for Gears of War?
If I was in an elevator and I had to pitch Gears of War, I would just say guns with chainsaws attached to it. It is so much fun. That series, it came out when I was in high school, and I lost so many hours of my life to that series. The second one, Gears of War 2, is my favorite because it introduced Horde mode, which kind of looks like this. You would build barriers, build barricades, turrets, stuff like that, and then just like hordes and waves and waves.
So you kind of make choke points and stuff like that?
It's like an alien invasion.
Yeah.
Just an alien invasion with just like the unique weapon of having a chainsaw on the gun was the real pull towards the game.
Because isn't that on like all the marketing images I've ever seen? The chainsaw on the gun?
That's their baby. But I'm telling you, all the movies you said he's been a part of, I'm not gonna lie. I liked all those movies.
No, and listen,
This is good news to me. So
Yeah, listen, a whole ton of people really like Prometheus.
I like
And there's a
Prometheus.
lot of people who like Passengers.
Mummy, I like Passengers. I like the.
There you go.
Bad to me.
So this is a good day for you.
Yeah. Well, it's until they said Netflix.
Yeah.
Until they said Netflix. Tell me one good sci-fi movie that was a Netflix original. I did like the Bright movie with Will Smith and
was more
I thought that was
fantasy,
okay.
That was all right. That was all right. I didn't like it all that much.
Tell
but
me
I-
a big property that Netflix has done, like where that would probably use a bunch of effects. I guess this movie should have a lot of effects.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That was pretty good. This might be their first big dip into like a video game.
Let me give you something that maybe you can have a little bit of hope over. Remember, Netflix has been experimenting a little bit with the idea of theatrical because they did it with Glass Onion, right? And look, I'm not sitting here telling you that Netflix is going to put this out theatrically. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it's not completely outside of the realm of possibility that they may approach this as a theatrical release kind of movie, especially if it's going to be as expensive to make. I think as maybe some people suspect it might be, that maybe they'll look at recouping like maybe $50, $100 million by doing a quick theatrical release. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's probably just going to go direct. And you're right. I can't think of a single original sci-fi movie they've done that I've really liked. And
Should
maybe
be
there has if
interesting.
I thought about it more.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? The Dune writer is now boarding Gears of War. Are you looking forward to this? Do you like the match? I think if you're a fan of the game, you got to be happy about this. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Rocket Money. The average person has around 12 paid subscriptions. Think about that. If you think you're only subscribed to a handful of services, you might want to double check. With Rocket Money, you can quickly identify and cancel all of your unwanted subscriptions. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify your subscriptions for you so you can stop paying for the ones you don't want and don't even use. Simply find the subscription you don't want and press cancel, and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. No more long hold times with customer service or tedious emailing back and forth. Rocket Money makes canceling subscriptions as easy as the click of a button. My wife Ann and I moved out of Burbank 2 years ago, and one of the first things I discovered when I loaded up Rocket Money was that I was still paying for a gym membership I haven't even been to in Burbank in 2 years. So stop throwing away your money. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/Campea. That's rocketmoney.com/Campea. rocketmoney.com/Campea.